I'm getting HIV tested. It's very important to really know your results.
Indeed, it is.
Yes.
So what we're about to do for you today, we're about to do a rapid HIV. And so with the Aura Quick, they are effective past 3 months, meaning from today's date and onward. Um, so it would be effective from about June the 27th and before that. So with these tests, they don't cover the most recent 90 days of anything.
Okay.
So how it's done is oral. We're going to swab in between your upper lip and your front teeth on both sides of the paddle. And this test takes about 20 minutes to be readable. And then we will have a result. But everybody should be getting routinely tested every 3 months. Especially if you're having sex with more than one partner. Even when you are having sex with one partner, you should be getting tested every 3 to 6 months.
And what are some of the things people need to know about the stigma of HIV? And people. It used to be more things on TV.
Right.
It was more. Everybody was given a little bit more knowledge back in the day, the early 2000s, the 90s, about HIV. Now, you don't really barely hear too much of nothing about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I would say the greatest stigma is that, yes, there are people who propose a greater risk of HIV, but it doesn't take away the fact that anybody can contract HIV.
No
I
question.
always let people know that if you are having sex and you're sexually active, you propose the same risk of getting HIV, especially if you're having unprotected sex with multiple partners. Obviously, regardless if you're gay or straight, having more partners, stirred in. And as we all know, even if you have one, all it takes is one time.
Right.
So regardless.
And then a lot of times people feel as though I'm in a monogamous relationship and I can't get it.
That is very
from
false.
my husband.
Right.
You don't know what your husband's doing.
Absolutely.
Cause I know a lot of husbands.
Indeed.
and I had dealt with a lot of husbands. So at the end of the day, people do not. They feel like if you're a sex worker, oh, they gonna most definitely get it. They're dirty. No, sex workers get checked. I'm saying, sex
and
workers
that's the
get
point.
checked.
And that's the point. My thing is, like I said, it's not about the type of sex that you're having because all sex can propose the same risk. And those who may be doing sex work, it's like, for sex workers, you're more prone to stay up on your sexual health because you know the importance of it.
It's very important. That's how you make your money.
Right.
That's how people make their money with all parts of their body. And one other thing, a lot of people want to know how you do it from, a lot of people say, if I do oral sex, I'm not going to catch it. I don't believe that's true.
So with oral sex, you can get more bacterial kind of like infections. The only thing is they do say for instance, any part of your mouth that may be open cuts, because how it happens is it interacts with a opening like a mucous membrane, which is like your anus, or like the vaginal opening. Anytime infected semen or secretions, whether it be like from a female or a male, interact with anything like open wounds, you can get HIV like that. So say for instance somebody had an open wound in their mouth while they're performing oral on somebody who is HIV positive, it is very likely that they could contract HIV like that. So that's why they always say check for open wounds in your mouth, like cuts or anything in your mouth.
And that's a very good point, because a lot of people didn't know that. Yeah. I know they don't know that because they feel like, oh, if I give them a good blowjob, I won't be getting nothing. You can get things in your mouth.
You can also, the greatest thing that you can get with performing oral sex without a condom or any other barrier is gonorrhea and chlamydia. We test specifically like in the throat, so that's why we give multiple swabs wherever you're having sex or wherever you're sexually active. We do a throat swab, we do a vaginal swab, an anus swab, because those are the areas that most people are having some form of penetration or having some type of oral sex. Even for men performing it on a woman with a vagina, you can still contract certain things in your throat from performing. So like I said, gonorrhea and chlamydia, like I've had clients who have tested positive for those in their throat by performing oral without a condom on or anything.
Yeah, because it's so many men want to have sex without condoms with sex workers, and a lot of these women that's married, they need to realize a lot of husbands don't care.
Right.
They just do not give a damn. When your eyes are not on them, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I hate when they look down on sex workers, because I have turned down so many men for that type of service. And they need to be thanking the sex workers.
Right. Essentially,
Yeah.
because a lot of times they don't know what happens behind closed doors, and the things they do and other sex workers do to keep some type of humility about it, and just like understanding like all business ain't good business. I would never, and like I said, a lot of sex workers have a morality about them that you just can't shake.
No, you can't.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they can play the blame game, but at the end of the day, like I said, like a lot of people take the necessary precautions to make sure that they are doing their job and doing it in a way that protects them. Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes people don't realize. Every time I come, I get nervous. I get nervous. Condom break, different things happen, and you do get nervous. But you have to know your status on your life, because you don't know how it's going to affect your health in all. That's why when people say, "Oh, I didn't know I was sick," how you not going to know? You know your own body. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know if something's wrong with you. And if you know that you in a relationship, you want to make sure each party is okay. You don't want to have something and you affect someone else. That's really foul. You know what I'm saying? You have to really let people know where you're at your status. And people don't, some people don't even care. They won't even get checked. I know girlfriends I talk to, I had never heard of them going, they never said they went to the clinic. I haven't heard. I'm like, huh?
And I do want to emphasize that it is important to get tested, because a lot of times, especially with HIV, depending on your age and your health, you may not know until it progresses to AIDS. That's what I'm saying. They say that typically people will start to see symptoms of HIV as early as 30 days, but it can take as late as years, like a year to 3 years. So it just all depends per person. Like I said, depending on how healthy you are and how strong your immune system is, which really emphasizes the importance to go and get tested, because there's no better way to know than to just get tested for it.
Especially when you got different ailments, high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, all types of different ailments. It makes it worse when you don't get some sort of treatment. If you do have HIV, just like if you have gonorrhea, if you got syphilis, you got this. If you got HIV on top of it, it gets worse. Mm-hmm. It really, because your immune system is crazy. It's just all over the place. Your hair come out, your skin look crazy, your gums start bleeding more. It's you have rashes on you. But everybody don't get that. Some people just look perfect, and that's the stigma. Oh, she don't look like she got it. What do HIV look like?
Right. What's gonorrhea and chlamydia look like?
Yeah, everybody's saying what something look
like. A lot
like.
of times it don't look like much, especially for men. Like, you know, there's a discharge that comes with some of the things, but like I said, like HIV, like the type of symptoms that come with that look very different. It starts off like very subtle, like almost like the chills, and you get kind of like flu-like symptoms that are very light. And so that's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff can just be chalked up to, oh, the weather's changing, or I'm coming down with a cold. You know, chances are that could be the case, yes, but in other cases, like many people, that's how many people find out is by, like, you know, those smaller, more subtle
symptoms.
Ways.
And like, I was talking about the young girl that was talking about that she didn't know anything. And, you know, a lot of times you don't know a lot of things. But just like I said, I'm coming in here for HIV testing. And when you not having sex with condoms, you need to be checked for that all the time. Because if you know you're not having sex and you're not using no protection at all, and we all know as sex workers that people get more money by not using it. We all know this. So now you gotta realize you're at risk that you might lose your life. No type of money is worth your life. Period. And at the end of the day, people look at me like I'm a Martian because I'm coming in here probably looking at me crazy because I'm coming in here and I'm going to tell my status. Because at the end of the day, that is very important. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making up papers. I'm not making up false papers and all this because people have did that in the porn industry to keep doing porn because that's their money. But my life is more important than the money because I know I'm gonna be taken care of anyway. But you got to know how your health is. If I know my health is not doing the way I want it, I'm going to make sure I check anything for them to figure out. I don't want to figure out on me. I don't want it to be too late. I want to make sure that first to see what's going on. And then I can trigger down on everything else. Everything else I can get a shot, a pill, or whatever. Because I can do it for HIV too, but you know, that is dealing with your immune system. And you got it, then your immune system is very important. And I know me, I don't like taking pills. So I know that is very important to keep up on. And knowing your status is very important. And it's very scary. It's like, I mean, I'm like,
it's like, would you rather be, it's the lesser of all evils. Would you rather be too scared of knowing or too scared of not knowing?
Not knowing, you just sitting there like, and then you're not knowing, and then you laying up with all these other people. Cause I looked on YouTube about this young lady. This man knew since the early '90s that he had it. He infected about 20 women.
Wow.
I mean, all types of women. He knew exactly what he had, and that's a rotten person, and he knew it. And all the women he was dealing with had it, and they felt so embarrassed they didn't want to let people know. But I'm so glad that lady spoke out because now she helping other people so they can say that he gave it to them too. He got 300 some damn years. It's just crazy. It's like these people out here are nuts.
Yeah, and they don't care.
And they don't care because they feel like, oh, they gave it to me, I'm giving it to them. They still have that mindset. Yeah, when you have that type of mindset, it's not cool. It's not cool because, you know, it's very important, you know, the other person didn't do nothing to you.
Right.
You need to let people know, you know, I have it, that's what it is, and you can still live a good life. You know, they have medications now that you can be not detectable. They have PrEP, you can use that before,
Yeah.
before you even catch it.
Yep. So PrEP is for anybody. I always say PrEP is designed to keep you from contracting HIV. So you have to be HIV negative in order to start PrEP, and it's essentially for anybody. I know that in most commercials you're seeing a lot of gay men and trans women in those because that population is more at risk for HIV. Yes, so obviously they're trying to target a population that is more in need of PrEP, but I always even tell straight individuals who may be interested in PrEP, like PrEP is going to be very useful because you never know who you may be sleeping with unprotected, who may have HIV and they just don't know. Or in the instances like she was just saying, like in instances where they do know and they don't care to disclose, their status. So the what better way to take care of yourself than to prepare? And that's why we say PrEP is very good for anybody who knows that I'm having, I'm in sex work, or I'm having more sex, or even if I'm just having sex with one person and I just want to protect myself in all instances, like it's very useful for anybody who wants to try.
And then I don't mean no harm. What came to my head just a few minutes ago, even the women that's married, they need to use PrEP.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what your husband's doing. And women need to stop living in the clouds. Because I don't mean no harm. If I was married, I'd be using PrEP. Because you don't know.
True.
Because these people you be thinking that you think they won't do anything because you look like this or that. It don't matter. They gonna do what they want to do when your eyes are not on them.
Right.
So I just want a lot of women and men, cause there's women out here, they rough. So you just gotta stay protected. And I think I'm not sure now. I think the men would know. Will the men know quicker if they have something, if like a disease? Will they know quick?
I don't necessarily think that there is a difference between sex when it comes to who finds out something sooner. I definitely do know that for men, like say that they are starting PrEP, I know that the PrEP will kick in faster in their body than a woman's body. So a woman has to be on PrEP consistently for 3 weeks in order for it to be effective. But for men, it can kick in like up to a week.
Oh wow.
Yep. So I don't know the science behind that, but that is something that may present, a difference. And then I do know for women, like certain things that has discharge. For men, you're having discharge, you have something. But for women, like discharge can be the result of many things. So I do get a lot of individuals who come in who don't necessarily know what color discharge means what, because you don't know what looks ordinary, what could be yeast, what could be BV. So most times I've tested people here, and they've had some type of discharge. Sometimes it was related to STI, sometimes it was related to like yeast or BV or something like that. So like I said, it's more unique, and it's definitely a little bit more difficult for women, just because like your bodies are
going through changes,
are so unique, and everybody's body reacts differently to everything. So
yeah, because it depends on your age process, your age, and everything. Because when you get older, everything is changing. It's going through a transition. And see, now when your body get older, it's like go haywire.
Right.
and that's why I said a lot of the younger people, they're just carefree. They can't be, nothing's going to hurt them.
Right, like they untouchable.
But
that's not necessarily the case.
No, but they gotta realize each disease you get during the time when you're younger, it affects you when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Not being treated right away, not keeping up with it, you will get your body will.
It can make you infertile.
Cannot have children.
Going a certain period of time with having any type of STI or bacterial infection, it can cause like long-term damage to your reproductive organs for men and for women. So over time, like say for instance, like I said, like chlamydia is one of those ones that are very common, and if you're not tested for it, it has the potential to do some long-term damage to your body. So that is why we always preach to go get tested for everything. Do a full screening at your soonest convenience, because if something like that is continuing to go on in your body and you don't know the long-term damage that it could do to your body, especially if you have plans to have a family in the future. It's not worth it. You are most certainly not invincible. Nobody's invincible.
Hell no. And they talk about, oh no, it wouldn't happen because I'm straight and I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
And
majority of the STIs are within the straight community. Chlamydia, gonorrhea,
yes.
A lot of those things, especially because, like I said, you're taking another individual at face value. All you can do is take their word for what it is and protect yourself, because at the end of the day they'll try to talk well into you about how they're so clean and how they have nothing, but chances are sometimes they could be true, and in some instances it could be fake and it could be lies. So,
and just like even with the sex industry, dealing with porn and stuff like that. And people need to realize that too. You can transfer diseases even being tested. When you're tested, okay, it says on the paper, I'm clean. You don't know, okay, they could have had sex that day and they do a porn and then they give you something, but it's not on the test right then and there.
Right, because it isn't the earlier on in the day, or a day before. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all thinking because everybody is in that circle, and then when I stopped, I don't do porn like I used. I was in California doing porn, but I had stopped because I don't want to be in that circle.
Right.
I don't want to be in that porn circle where everybody else flopping germs.
Right.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to know my status. I want to know. I ain't trying with that panel shit because they don't test for everything.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on with me. And I'm not flopping around different stuff and different people.
Right. As you should.
No.
All right. And your result is negative.
All right. Know your status, please. I don't know if y'all know what that is, because y'all might have wasn't tested either. So I don't know. But it was nervous today. I was nervous. But I got off my nerves. I got off my butt, and I found out my status. And I'll come back in another 3 months and check again. And that's why I said I just gotta stop being nervous about this, because things do happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Contemplate. It comes up. Anything can happen. But at least I know today it's negative. So I'll just keep checking. So I want y'all to stay on your status, keep faith, make sure you have to have your mindset. Anybody could have it. Your husband, you, anybody can have it. It's not just a gay, any type of disease. It's an everybody disease. So you got to make sure you know your status. I don't care who you are, even a pastor, whoever. Know your status. Have a good one.